in today's video, we're looking at a really cute stamp set which is going to be released very soon in our Blissful release coming up in January. This is just a little sneak peek for you so that you get excited about the release that's coming up. I promise you there's so many beautiful, cute little stamp sets and dies that are being released. You'll be really excited. So I decided to do a little bit of a sneak peek showing you one of the stamp set that's going to be released. And so here, these are the cats stamp set. I'm not going to name them. I'm not going to tell the name right now, so because I want you to wait and see when it releases. And I'm keeping these cats very, very similar in color. So I've chosen some grays and black tones to kind of create these cats. And I've just changed a bit of the patterns on each of these cats so that they look a little different, but everything else I'm going to keep it like all these cats are pretty much in the same color tone. Now, the idea behind these cards that I'm creating today, we have 3 cards here, and each of these cards will show you a few backgrounds that you can create for these very cute birthday stamps. So the stamp set also comes with a coordinating die, and I'm so excited about one more thing which is a part of this die set, which I'll talk a little later. So I've gone ahead and die cut all these pieces, but the last one there with the 3 cats, I left a little bit of a white border underneath. Now you don't have to, you can cut it right at the edge of it, but I wanted that border to kind of make it look as if the cats are sitting at the table to celebrate their friend's birthday. So I'm adding this blue color, like a BG blue-green color to the tablecloth, and I'm adding some flowers using white gel pen. I know my flower is a little wonky, but that's okay because this whole stamp set is very cartoony, so that kind of added to that element. Now let's create the background. We're keeping this first card very, very simple. So I'm just choosing some of the Copic markers. Now I've kept the colors similar for all the 3 cards. I've kind of used the same colors over and over. So I'm just using some of these Copic colors that I've chosen, and I'm adding some dots. Now I'm keeping the top part of the cardstock, the dots up there denser, but as they come down they're going to be sparse. So I'm kind of creating like a confetti drop during the birthday party, if that makes sense. And as I'm building this, I'm also kind of increasing the size of the dots so that they look like the various sizes of confettis that is dropping from maybe the ceiling. I don't know, maybe somebody popped a balloon and then the confetti started falling through that. And then I'm also taking this gold Posca pen and I'm going to add some gold dots as well, just to add a little bit of shine. Now as I was doing it, you can see right there in that corner there is that little bit of a boo-boo. No worries, we're going to fix that. Now I'm going to adhere these cats to the bottom, but before I do that, I have chosen a couple of sentiments from the same stamp set, and the exciting part of this stamp set is that these sentiments all have coordinating dies. I'm so excited about that. So I've going to taken one of the stamps and I'm going to directly stamp it onto the cardstock, and then I'm going to place this cats at the bottom, and I've added some foam tape behind it, and I'm going to add this to the bottom part of the card. And then I'm taking this birthday wishes, which is die cut as I said, and I'm going to adhere it to the bottom. Now we're going to kind of cover that boo-boo that I created. So all I'm going to do is add some sequins just to kind of cover it up and make the card look a little more sparkly. And here is the finished look of the first card. Now for the second card, I'm using this heart bokeh die, which is like a 2-set die. And I've again gone ahead and chosen the same colors that we've used, but in the color fuse ink cubes. And I'm going to take I'm taking daubers because I want these colors to be only in those places, so I don't want them to go anywhere else from where other than where I want them to be. So I'm just going to take this dauber, different colors of daubers, and I'm going to choose some of the hearts. Like, I'm going to choose the hearts for the hearts and put the colors that I want in those hearts. So here you can see, as I'm adding that, I'm going to build this. So but this particular die set, you want to first start with the larger die set, the larger hearts, and then you go to the second part of the hearts. Now, before I added the green hearts, I wanted to make sure that I wipe off the stencil so I don't contaminate my inks. And you can see when I put the bokeh and I put it up on the second image, I forget to clean, and you can see some parts where the color blends, but no problem, it all worked out perfectly fine in the end. And now this is the second part to the stencil, and I'm going to add the same colors that we added for the top, for the bottom layer, and I'm going to just start blending the colors onto it. Now, I initially thought I'll add like individually, and then I thought, no, that's a little too much. So I started to kind of create a lot more, like I started to blend a few more hearts in the same colors, and here you can see how it all turned out. Now I also wanted to add some sparkle to this card, so I'm just taking this embossing paste, and this embossing paste has some gold glitter in it, and as it dries, it actually, you will only be able to see the gold glitter. Now when I take it out, it may not look as gold, but as it dries, it starts looking really gold. So I'm just going to add sparsely, not everywhere, just I'm choosing a few places, and there you go. That's pretty much, that's the background for the next card. And now I'm going to add this beautiful stamp which I have die cut. This large stamp which I'm going to adhere in the middle, in the center, and then I've also gone ahead and die cut two different sentiments which I've embossed with white embossing powder onto minty green cardstock. I'm going to add some foam tapes behind this large cake stamp with those cute little cats around it. And the sentiment reads, "Happy birthday from all of us. Birthday calories don't count." I really liked it. How cute is that? And so I'm going to add that to the center, and then all that's left to do is to adhere the sentiments. One on the top, so I'm going to adhere "Happy birthday from all of us" on the top part of the sentiment. Again, I've added some foam tapes to it. Now, in this case, I actually added some more glue onto the foam tape as well, which I usually do, but in this case, it's more important is because you do have that embossing paste, so sometimes the foam does not adhere well. And then I've also gone ahead and cut about a 1/4 inch from all sides, like total of a 1/4 inch from each side, so that when I adhere this, it's 1/4 inch smaller on the cardstock, so it centers. And here is the second card. Isn't that really cute? And for the third one, I'm going to use cardstocks for this. We're going to step up this game a little bit, and I'm going to use another sneak peek of, this is a die set, and there's a lot more to this die set. I'm using just a part of this, and I've chosen some of the balloons from this die set, and I'm going to create a pattern using these die sets. If you know me, I love creating patterns. It's probably one of my favorite things to do, and die cuts is a really nice option, especially smaller die cuts like this are really nice to create those patterns. So I'm just kind of placing them in a way I feel it would make sense visually. So I'm just going to, before I adhere, this is what I always do, is place them. And then I take a picture on my phone and I keep it to the side. So then when I go to adhere, I know exactly where I place them. And then once I'm satisfied with the placement, now I'm going to adhere it to the base. I'm going to use foam tapes for some of the balloons, and some of them will be directly stamped onto the cardstock. Now I'm not stamping all the balloons like horizontally, but I'm kind of creating a little bit of wonkiness to certain balloons here and there. So you will see as I adhere, it starts making sense. And then these balloon die also have these tails, which I'm going to adhere to the tip of at the bottom of the balloon. Ignore the second one that I added because I removed it, and I wanted to add it from underneath the yellow balloon's tail that you can see, and that made more sense to me. And I added the tails to all of these balloons, and then all that was left to do, Now when you're creating pattern again, you want to make sure that you have some overhangs here and there so it looks like a continuous pattern and it doesn't kind of stop at a weird place. And then what was left to do was to just chop away the hangover, the whole overhangs. And then these are the stamps that we colored at the beginning. And then I'm just going to add these cats, the 3 cats onto this background, and you can see why I kept those cats very simple, black and white, so they pop on this background. And how fun these colors are. They kind of remind me of candies. And then I've also gone ahead and stamped and embossed the sentiments from the stamp set using black cardstock with white embossing powder. And you can see those die cuts for these sentiments make it so easy and they look so beautiful. I really love. I'm so excited. I hope you get excited too with this release. And I'm just going to place these sentiments, and then all that's left to do is to add some details. I'm just adding some white highlights to the balloons so that they look like they're shining. And then I'm also going to add some sparkle to it by adding some what are the crystals. And the crystals that I'm using are just iridescent crystals, so they all look the same. And here's the finished card. And here are the 3 cards that we created. I hope you really enjoyed this video and you got excited for our new release. I will see you next time. Stay blissful. Bye bye.